I'm Jeff Reber. I'm a Republican nominee for Union County Commissioner, and I live and was raised in Mifflinburg.
So it's January 6th, 2020. You've been sworn into office. What's the first major issue, something beyond the routine, that you'd like the board to address?
Well, beginning in January 2020, if I'm elected, one of the great things that the current commissioner slate actually is reviewing right now is broadband throughout the county. I really think that's vitally important for businesses and students, and even from the healthcare perspective, because telemedicine is such a huge issue to help people stay in their homes and stay healthy. And the county has 2 studies being completed as we speak, and they'll unfortunately not be able to do a whole lot with those, I think, before the end of this year. So that's going to be something the new commissioner board has the opportunity really to jump on, and I think within the next 4 years, and really that's something that the 3 of us can really look forward to impacting the county with.
In the months since your victory in the primary election, has your experience campaigning brought to light any new issues or concerns that maybe you hadn't given consideration to prior?
Actually, since the primary, it's only been a reinforcement of what's been discussed during the spring. As I'm out there and I'm meeting people, most of the people really love Union County. They love the nature, they just love the environment, they really love actually the way it's run, and the only thing that keeps coming up is, more jobs, more opportunity, but with more jobs you need more job training. That's really a key point. And I'd say if there's anything at all that's been brand new, it's been more people putting out that we need job training in addition to jobs, just so we can fill those jobs.
Is that something you'll be pursuing?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, because I'm all about growth and business and those sorts of aspects of helping the county raise tax revenue. Because I think the more, the broader our base in tax revenue, the less each of us has to actually contribute. And we're a much more stable county that way. But yeah, in order to fill all these great jobs that we hope to bring on board, we need people who are trained to actually do those.
There's been some movement at Great Stream Commons, speaking of jobs and tax revenue.
Yep.
Of course, Great Stream Commons being the industrial park in Great Township. The latest interest that I'm aware of is in Target's partially developed acreage at the park, and of course that's privately owned. The publicly owned land is still being marketed, and that's now through a new commercial realtor. Taxpayers remain on the hook for about $7.8 million of the $12 million that was taken out to purchase the property 20 years ago. Do you believe the commissioners have done due diligence in attempting to sell that land and have it developed? And what actions would you consider taking if elected?
Well, Great Streams Commons has been a hot topic. It was during our primary, and it has been for the past decade, essentially, in Union County. And as a taxpayer in Union County, I know part of my dues, so to speak, are going to support that. I am absolutely thrilled to see that there's some movement, even if it is on the Target site, because I really think that could be a catalyst towards bringing in other businesses in the government-owned part. However, I do think also we need to be realistic about it, and after I'm sworn in, we need to look at it and say, okay, Target site hopefully is going to have some development to it, be a little catalyst. However, what should we be doing with the rest of it? Is there truly opportunity to sell it for market value? Is there truly opportunity to do it now? Or if it's a 20-year, if we think it's going to take another 20 years or so, then I think we have to be realistic and look at other options.
What would you say the other options are?
Well, the other options are going to be marketing it differently, perhaps. Maybe looking at an individual developer to come in and develop it with some back-end revenues coming back to the county, so to speak, and some sort of partnership like that. Or I know there have been people before saying, hey, look, maybe we just need to cut our losses, sell it, and move on. I don't think anything should be off the table.
The current Board of Commissioners is on pace to hire a new chief clerk before the end of the year and before the next board is sworn into office. At least 2 of the current commissioners won't be around to work with the new clerk for any substantial amount of time. Are you comfortable with the present board taking this action, or do you think the decision should be handed off to the incoming board?
Well, the current board has really treated us candidates and nominees very, very well, and they've allowed us some input into this whole situation and some others. They've taken some of our guidance, and I encourage the new board to go ahead and try to find a new chief clerk, because I'd like somebody in there and at least get their hands wet and trained a little bit prior to hopefully me and one other person coming on board, because if we at least have them in place, then there's only two new people in the mix, you know. But rather than us coming in, two of us who are brand new and don't, you know, truly know how the county runs yet, to have a brand new chief clerk yet just adds an extra level of complexity that if we can avoid that, I'm all for it. And I trust the current commissioners to make a good decision.
And you do raise a good point too, because your face and others, the other challengers are familiar to the commissioners' workshops, especially, not just the meetings. Union County moved to invest in bicycling and outdoor recreation as a potential way to strengthen the local tourism economy and improve quality of life for residents. The county now owns and operates the Buffalo Valley Rail Trail and has a trail authority to oversee maintenance and expansion of more trails. Do you support the continued investment in trail development, potentially purchasing property and developing the abandoned rail bridge in the Lewisburg area? And how can a county resident who may not even own a bicycle themselves benefit from such investment?
Well, I think investing in the environment is actually a good thing. However, the trail authority was set up in a way that it's not directly through the commissioner's office or the county to fund and run that. And I think that's the right way to go, because I don't really feel that that's a county function to do such a thing. However, the trail authority can raise money. They're getting tax money from hotel fees, et cetera, like that. And I think having it separately with their own liability, et cetera, is the right way to handle that. And I would encourage them to actually develop more resources such as that. And you don't need a bicycle to ride on the rail trail. You can walk on the rail trail. I know the local school districts, their cross-country teams, they run on the rail trail. There's a lot of people who utilize that as a way to get out of traffic and still be able to go out, really enjoy the beauty of our environment. And just Union County is so just has such it's really just beautiful. Quite frankly, it's the word to use. And you don't need you don't need a bicycle for that. If you want a bicycle, and you don't own one, you can also rent one. And you probably know somebody who could let you borrow one. So, just get out there, really enjoy the county. This is your resource. I think everybody should get out there and enjoy it.